says this about President Trump. He, quote, promised an elixir for racial anxiety for the millions of Americans spooked by a black man in the White House. Once again, playing the race card. I've told you a million times that the people they thought they hired was the Obama who gave an interview with 60 Minutes. This is when he was still not yet the front runner, but he was gaining on Hillary. Otherwise, 60 Minutes would not have given him the interview. And he says, look, if you don't get the nomination, will it be because of racism?
How important is race in defining yourself?
I am rooted in the African-American community, but I'm not defined by it. I am comfortable in my racial identity, but that's not all I am.
You think the country's ready for a black president?
Yes.
You don't think it's going to hold you back?
No. I think if I don't win this race, it will be because of other factors. It's going to be because I have not shown to the American people a vision for where the country needs to go that they can embrace.
Now, I thought that answer was spot on. Did he say anything at all about systemic racism holding him back? Institutional racism holding him back? Foundational racism, endemic racism holding him back? Did he say anything about that? No. Because he knows damn well he has lived a wonderful, charmed life in a wonderful country called America. Man is born in Hawaii. For a while, he lives in Indonesia and attends a school that was set up for oil company executives because his mom had married an oil company executive, and they moved to Indonesia for a little while. Mom didn't feel he's getting a good enough education, sends him to Hawaii to live with her white parents. He ends up going to the finest prep school in the whole state, makes the basketball team, brags about not being a very good student in his book, brags about smoking dope and doing cocaine. Somehow, some way, and even said he wasn't a very good student. Gets into Occidental, which is a very competitive elite college in L.A., private school, goes to Columbia, finishes up there, then goes to Harvard for law school. The man, as I said before, never set foot in a public school for his own education. Dad has a Ph.D. from Harvard. Mother has a Ph.D. in anthropology. And he thinks that he spooked America because he's a black man and that he caused racial anxiety. Man's about as anxiety-inducing as Urkel. I mean, really? And then in 2007, he said this.
The previous generation, the Moses generation, pointed the way. They took us 90% of the way there, but we still got that 10% in order to cross over to the other side.
So in 2007, we had gotten 90% of the way to realizing MLK's dream. We had 10% left to go. That was before he got elected president, let alone reelected president. You don't think maybe we cut into that 10% a little bit? And you know that he does not feel this victocrat mentality personally. He doesn't tell Sasha and Malia that they're victimized because of institutional racism. And then when he goes to a black college after his presidency and gives a commencement speech, here's what he says.
Given the current state of our political rhetoric and debate, let me say something that may be controversial, and that is this. America is a better place today than it was when I graduated from college.
No kidding.
I am not saying gaps do not persist. Obviously they do. Racism persists. Inequality persists. Don't worry, I'm going to get to that. But I wanted to start class of 2016 by opening your eyes to the moment that you are in. If you had to choose one moment in history in which you could be born, and you didn't know ahead of time who you were going to be, what nationality, what gender, what race, whether you'd be rich or poor, gay or straight, what faith you'd be born into, you wouldn't choose 100 years ago. You wouldn't choose the 50s or the 60s or the...
You can tell it's a black school because he's dropping his G's, you know.
70s. You choose right now.
He's getting his Tupac on.
If you had to choose a time to be, in the words of Lorraine Hansberry, young, gifted, and black in America, you would choose right now.
What happened to the systemic racism? What happened to the institutional racism? Why aren't you telling these young black people that they're held back? Because you know it's BS. You do it for votes.